What's up, guys? Welcome back to the MontyVerse, and today we have a bit of a Halloween special for you because Marvel Studios had a special presentation, Werewolf by Night, that dropped earlier this month that we didn't cover because we were at New York Comic Con, and we thought it would be a good idea to cover that for you on the spookiest of holidays, Halloween. And joining me for this reaction is Nicki. What's up, Nicki?
Not too much. Holiday is one of my favorite times of the year, and I honestly can't think of a more fun way to celebrate it than kind of seeing this new work by Marvel they're putting out. That's, I think, going to be really different in a lot of ways.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really excited to see this. Of course, it was extremely well reviewed. Not only critics, but fans all praised this.
Mm-hmm.
It's Marvel's first special presentation, Marvel Studios anyway. So I'm really excited to see what it's all about and what everything is. We're gonna drop this either the day before Halloween or on Halloween. This is obviously before that, but this is going to be considered one of our Halloween specials. So let's just jump right into it. You ready?
I'm excited. I'm ready to go for it.
All right, let's do it. Werewolf by Night, starting right now. I love this. I love this special.
I was gonna say that's very different.
Yeah, no.
Right off the bat.
I really like that. Oh, very different and something very familiar.
Okay, fair.
Oh!
You spoke way too soon.
I did speak way too soon.
Jesus.
Giacchino already. Score. I love it.
I also love how that happened 3 times, and I was still surprised by all of them.
Very aggressive slashes. Oh my god, this is such like a callback to the Universal horror movies.
Mm-hmm.
Like even the opening. I'm probably gonna say that a lot during this.
Yeah, I mean, just off the bat, like the opening text, the black and white. Ooh.
The known universe, with its heroes and marvels.
Marvel.
For a ceremonial hunt which will decide who next will wield the Bloodstone.
So not keeping it in the family.
To the monster.
Yes. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
I love how that almost looks like gore from the comics.
Oh, Gael Garcia Bernal's design? Or...
No, I'm talking about...
the hieroglyphic,
yeah,
paintings.
the walls, the paintings on the wall. These sets are fantastic. I mean... Are you laughing?
No, just, I just love the costume design. Like, a lot of it comes off, even by Marvel standards, a little over the top, but it fits the tone so well, like, as a monster movie homage.
Yeah. I mean, but they're also extremely well defined.
Mm-hmm.
Each character design.
Right, which I think is a huge service to the characters.
I mean, I understand the importance of anonymity in our line of work, but it gets lonely.
No, but him I've fought a few times. He's never looked so alive.
Shame I didn't turn out.
Don't be too easy on yourself. You were the greatest disappointment of his life.
Rough.
Very rough. And I think that answers your question about the family.
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh, my dear heart. He was a leader. A friend.
Send up.
Lover without equal.
So is that her mother or a lover of his?
I think stepmother.
Okay. Oh my god.
Yep.
I do hope my attendance delights you.
Delight is a strong word.
That's wild. Can you imagine going to a funeral like that?
Like
No. Unless it's
With
the person's
my
wish, which I assume.
It is now time to choose a new leader in the crusade against monsters. I'll be rotting for you.
Get it? Get it? Rooting?
Yeah, no, I got it. I got it.
Okay. It sounds like something I would see at the Haunted Mansion ride at Disney, to be honest.
I love it. I love how the mix of like.
But she gets to crash this thing like it's a backyard wedding.
Brings up a good point, huh? Where's the lovely lady's medallion?
Have you checked up your own arse?
Elsa is welcome to join. The others will follow.
Man, I love the world building that Giacchino is doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
Just adding all of these layers, but not feeling the need to over-explain any of it.
Right.
The score is just impeccable as always.
As you would expect, especially from a work with him attached.
Now
Yeah.
we pledge. And so it
Is
shall
every
be.
instrument cooler when it's on fire or when it's blowing fire?
I mean, definitely does look cooler.
Like, I've never seen a cool-looking tuba before, but that's probably one of the coolest looking ones.
I just love super extra stuff like that. Whether it was necessary or not, I do love it.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
That was very brutal. Oh, he's fucked now.
Death is coming for you, lassie.
Well, I think to Elsa's credit, she's very smart and very tactical in the sense that she knows she can't fight that guy
Right.
1v1 in a hand-to-hand combat situation.
Which is true. I thought she was gonna like throw it from him from a distance, but
Yeah, it's a pretty big axe. I mean, if she had like knives or something, then it would be different. But that's like a big person's weapon, or you need a lot of room to maneuver with that thing.
mm-hmm.
I think she's just being smart. I think it shows that she's a lot smarter than we realize. She's a lot more well-trained.
Mm-hmm. And not necessarily by her father.
Yeah. Which is why she didn't inherit the Bloodstone. Also, I love the design of everything. Even like that axe. Such an interesting design for like a weapon, like a bladed weapon. Oh.
I mean, that is a cool weapon, whatever the hell that is on his arm.
Oh!
Maybe she's not so bad with it after all.
Again, she's very smart.
Oh. Oh, God.
Gnarly.
There's one benefit to black and white. I don't have to see so much of the blood.
Yeah. Oh! Need a hand? It's probably like really comfortable to like be on a hunt in a kilt. It's not practical, but it's probably very comfortable.
Yeah.
This guy's an idiot.
Yeah.
This guy's such an idiot. Oh. Man-Thing.
Well, of course I was gonna come find you. Of course. Are you okay? Well, you keep saying that you're gonna be careful each time, and here we go again. You can't keep counting on me to save you. It has to be tight and even.
Wow, thank you for that. Right, yeah, because you just have a quick chat with him, sort it out, because you're what? The monster's friend.
And he's so sincere.
Yes. He's playing it so straight.
And sometimes we think that by doing something very specific, we can change everything and not be like them.
See, this is like a subtle reference to his origin and how he got his abilities.
Sometimes they're just a pain in the ass that we have to save all the time.
Oh, Francis.
Oh, God.
Ugh.
I said that if I misbehaved...
Alright. I feel like those CGI spiders We're intentionally bad. We're bad on purpose.
At some point, she knew.
I think that makes sense to replicate the style they're going for.
She'd need. That's not bad.
Thank God she was wearing gloves because that would have been really disgusting.
Yes, she's very prepared. She shows us how well trained Elsa really is. Trained in the art of knowing to wear gloves.
My name is Jack.
Jack, cross me and I'll kill you both.
Okay. Call him by his name.
Which is?
Ted. Let's call Ted.
Ted.
Is that in the comics at all? Yes or no?
That's his name, yeah.
Oh shit!
His name is Theodore.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
No.
He accidentally turned it on. Oh! Take some fluoric acid, sucker.
Ted? Have a lovely name.
Oh.
Man, thank goodness that thing took the exact amount of time.
Yeah, no shit.
Why would you do that, you idiot?
I can't wait to find out what breed of evil you are.
None of you.
Very
should
on
touch
the nose.
The hunt decides.
I mean, technically, she won.
Yes.
At the release was second place. Well, okay. House rules, aka F you.
Whatever the hell I feel like.
Yeah.
Any hunting that I do is done by a part of me that is not me. And that's not the part you're with right now.
Interesting. They're so adamant about not saying the word werewolf.
Yeah.
You got nothing to worry.
5 days. The Bloodstone's capable of transforming you in 5 seconds.
That's not good.
Thanks
Not
in
at
advance
all.
for making it quick. Talking about.
Sense. Oh.
That's invasive, but I'm assuming for good reason at least.
What?
Yeah, no, he's just into smells. You just imagine.
Once.
And these masks, it's also, so good.
What the fuck?
Mercy. Clean. His, not so much.
What a dick.
I mean, pretty much. That's what made her whole breed of evil thing like so
To show yourself.
on the nose and ironic.
Yeah.
Because she has like such a lack of. Well, maybe she has the self-awareness and doesn't care.
Well, she has no awareness of what he is, because he can be a multitude of creatures. Oh.
Ooh, I appreciate like using the shadows instead of
Yes.
just outright.
And her
showing
reaction to it. Oh my god, so old school.
It is, but like it conveys just what you need to know though.
So well done. Like just seeing her go from like trying to play tough to just absolutely terrified.
Oh, I knew that was going to happen. Like she wasn't safe just because of the cage.
Oh. Oh snap. What a money shot. Honestly, the practical werewolf suit looks so good.
I was gonna say I actually really like the aesthetic of it because
Yeah.
I like that it's practical, and I like that it still very much looks like him.
What I like is because Gael Garcia Bernal as Jack had facial hair,
Yeah.
but the werewolf is hairy everywhere else but its face.
Right.
So it's that. Oh my gosh! Sword. Oh, swords are cool. Oh, yes, Elsa, yes. Oh my gosh.
Oof.
Oh! Oh my god, I love it. The blood on the camera.
Oh my
everything.
god. Oh!
Oh my god, this is so good. Oh! Ooh. Oh! Elsa! Savage. Oh.
Ooh.
She treated him like a friend. She even called him by his name. Just like Jack told her to do with Ted. Oh, Ted with the save. Yeet. I guess she was heading right for him.
Nice.
He went that way.
Oh no.
He got his clothes for him. Oh, what a good friend.
Yeah.
You ought to make myself available to you.
Brilliant, you can start clearing all this shit up.
Oh my god, I love Elsa.
Alright, that's pretty cool.
Oh, well, at least they got something out of it. They got the record player.
Mm.
Aw, Ted made him a little tent. Little teepee. Ted also made pressed coffee.
And he has, like, playing cards?
He's playing solitaire. I don't know why I'm laughing.
Let's do sushi. I owe you that.
Good call. Good call.
Always. Always a good choice.
Bravo.
What a great job by him.
I have to say it. This is his first time directing.
I just remember during the announcement and, like, I had to, like, rewind to make sure I heard that correctly. But
And this is so good.
yes. Oh my god.
It blew me away. Like the practical sets, the attention to detail, the shots, the use of the character's design, the performances he got out of the actors, the casting itself, the music, the score. Beautiful. It's so beautiful.
It is. I'm also, like, as we talk, I'm looking at the credits just to make sure he did the music as well.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, yeah. Speak of the devil. Which, the man is, like, has no shortage of talent. Like, holy hell.
Incredible. He definitely is the champion of this series. I mean, but listen, he directed the crap out of this, but you also have to give tremendous amount of credit to everyone involved, but specifically I want to give a shout out to Laura Donnelly and Gael Garcia Bernal, because I think as Jack Russell and Elsa Bloodstone, they were fantastic.
Yes. Like,
yeah, Laura Donnelly, there we go.
because I've only seen him in maybe a couple other movies. I've never seen her before, to my knowledge, and they blew me out of the water with their performances.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll talk about the Bloodstones first. Harriet Samson Harris or something like that, who played Verussa Bloodstone. Oh, no post-credit scene, I guess. Okay. Fair enough. Who played Verussa Bloodstone. You have Gael Garcia Bernal and Laura Donnelly giving these extremely well-grounded performances. Like, really good, really small performances. Very well done. And then she comes in and she just hams it up to 1,000. And it's that, and I think it's that hamminess and that her having fun that is such an amazing contrast, because this special there's a lot of contrast, you know, like when we first meet everyone and it's being set up to be this very prestigious, very, you know, old secret society, and then they open up old Ulysses Bloodstone like he's a goddamn
like, again, a carnival attraction.
Yeah,
almost.
you know, and he's like, oh, I've been rotting for you, and it's that blend of like serious and grounded and over the top and wacky.
Yeah.
That it's so good.
I disagree a little bit that I thought she was hamming it up to that extent. Like, she was like such a blatant villain, but at the same time,
she was like art. She was like, you know,
but
like,
she wasn't like mwahaha like every second.
Oh, I think not to that extent,
right,
but I think it was in that vein.
It was in that vein. Like, she was such a clear antagonist the entire time because she's so condescending towards Elsa. And just talk about how much she thinks she sucks.
If she had a mustache, she'd be twirling it. Let's put it to you that way.
Right, but that's the thing. Is like
she'd be twirling.
She's blatantly villainous, but like she plays it so believably.
Yeah, but it still is wacky. It's like not wacky in the sense of she's throwing pies at people, but right. You know, it's like it's grandiose.
It's like she might as well be wearing a sign.
I'm the bad guy. I have no redeeming qualities.
Right.
I'm the wicked stepmother.
And this is probably jumping ahead a little bit. What was around? Was that blood dripping from her eyes? Or?
No, I think that was just maybe it was blood. Maybe it was definitely paint or
makeup.
It was ceremonial. It wasn't.
Right. I was just like, but now that I was like, that's a little over the top.
I mean, there was so much ceremony going on.
Yeah.
But that's what I love. It's all show, not tell, because you draw the conclusions in your mind. Like, oh, why does she have that on? You know, Gael Garcia Bernal, Jack Russell has this amazing face paint on that almost kind of looks like the skulls of like Dia de los Muertos in Mexico. And this is obviously a new interpretation of just so since we talked about the Bloodstones, let's talk about Jack Russell a little bit.
Yeah.
Because he's so good.
Oh god.
So good. And to take a character like Jack Russell, who in the comics is just such a ridiculous. The Werewolf by Night in the comics is a ridiculous concept and a ridiculous comic, but it was very like. It was made in a time where monster comics were becoming the new popular thing in the comic book industry. So, in the comics, the Russells were really Eastern European, and they were called the Rusevs. And the lycanthropy that they all suffer from, the werewolfism, as you would call it, it's passed down from generation to generation in the comics until his mother, you know, hoping to kind of like remove them from the curse that their family was because someone put a curse on their family, and that's why they have this, you know, generational werewolf syndrome. She moves to America, and they change their. He was born Jacob Rusev. She changes his name to Jack Russell. So it's really funny, really goofy, and we have a much more serious interpretation of the character here. Obviously, there's implications that still happened, but it seems like it's more of they moved it to South America than Eastern Europe, which I think is refreshing, which I think is a very welcome update to it, because monsters are so synonymous with Eastern Europe and like Transylvania and
right. And like I think the strength of this is like everything you just said in terms of backstory. The special, like, it didn't spell it out, and it did not need to, because I was still engaged with him. A lot of it due to his performance, and again, just what we did see of him was interesting and engaging.
Yeah. But he was really good. I love how... I don't want to say the word small, but but his performance as Jack was very small.
It's like I don't want to say inhibited, but it's like he's not like screaming from the rooftops.
Yeah,
or
which
like,
lesser actors would be tempted to go a little big with it.
right.
And I love the tenderness to his character, and he's just
he seems like a normal human being.
he seems like the most human character in the entire special, which I think is the point.
right.
You know, everyone else is a monster but him, and to an extent Elsa, who
Right.
starts to kind of see things his way, because she treats him and Ted at the end like human beings.
Right, and I think like the little hint they gave that now, I think it's fair to say it was a little bit obvious that he was going to be the titular werewolf. Like even before I went into this, I wasn't shocked.
Well, yeah, considering it's like the poster and it's just him, and it's like Werewolf by Night. This guy's a werewolf.
Right, but beyond that, and then like the other thing that kind of hinted at that is when they're going over everyone's kill counts, and she's like 102, and like he doesn't seem like he's not taking pride in it.
Yeah, no. Which again is great character building.
Right.
All of them are reveling in, even when Elsa like joins and they're all like, "Oh, why is she here?" You know, and he's just like, "I don't care."
Yeah, like
He's like, whatever.
Yeah, like if you're all like that prideful of your skill, then why do you all care that much?
Even like the fact that all the hunters were looking to kill each other, and he was just
Right.
like, "Yo, let's just
Right.
move past each other."
Right, which makes sense given he was not there for the same reasons anyway.
Yeah.
But again, to be fair, that to me was also a little bit of a reveal, so I do appreciate that,
Yeah.
and I think they did work that in very well.
Yes, especially because the guy with the axe, I don't even know if they said his name. Screw that guy, he's a dick. He's like, he goes to him and he's just like, "Oh man, you know, I know that we're supposed to have a lot of anonymity in our business, but it was really nice meeting you here." And then immediately after, he tries to kill him with an axe.
Right.
Like it's just like it just shows that these people are monsters. Humanity is just as monstrous as
Yeah.
monsters, you know. And and I love that they make Jack so tender and caring and empathetic and compassionate, because when he does change, when he does become the titular Werewolf by Night, he's so vicious and aggressive, and his eyes change. Like, kudos to Gael, because his eyes, he has this intensity, this viciousness, this almost tunnel vision when he's as the werewolf. And if you notice, which is another cool detail about Elsa, because you don't really, everyone else feels like Elsa doesn't belong there, and you don't really get a good determination of her skill throughout the hunt per se, except she does kill that one guy. But what is a fun fact is she kills all of the hunters.
Yeah.
And especially she kills the guy with the crossbow, and then she has two pretty sick sword kills, throat slashes, of the remaining two hunters. And then the only one she doesn't kill is the Scottish guy, the guy with the kill, two Ted kills. But that's another little, that's a great another show not tell detail. Like, hey, she's trained. She took out 3 highly trained hunters in hand-to-hand combat.
Right, she did that, but plus she also wasn't going after just like any random casualty. She was very strategic and thoughtful about who she was actually going after.
This is not nepotism. She's not here because she feels entitled to the Bloodstone. She wants to hunt her own way.
Right.
She wants to forge her own path.
Right, and she has an actual set of morals.
Yes. And man, Laura Donnelly's micro expressions, like like when she's in the cage, like she has this bravado the entire time, and then when she's in the cage with Jack, and she goes, even when she's trying to put on this brave facade, like she's just like, stay away from me until you know you don't. Like you can just tell that there's that little bit of fear, like she's afraid.
Right.
And then the fact that they focus on her during the transformation sequence.
Right.
And you see her micro expressions changing constantly from like okay to like actual terror, like
also like it's such a tiny
So
moment,
good.
but the other thing that kind of blew me away, and I think it was just before that, is when they pan to her and like she has the quietest, like almost no movement here, just run down her face, which crying, like acting crying, I think is like such an underrated skill, and the way that she did it, and like just her expression, the way that was like the camera panned to her, like that looked like she was so good, like even that kind of a tiny moment.
That's why I love the character of Elsa so much in this series, because she's badass, she's capable, she's a skilled fighter, skilled warrior, skilled hunter, but she's human. They show her, they give her vulnerability.
Right. Yeah, like
and the temptation to just make her a killing machine, or to have her just like make quip in the face of death, is there. But the fact that you actually humanize the character in that moment is such a smart decision. And kudos to Giacchino's writing there, and in the performance from Laura Donnelly, because it just makes the character so much better.
Mhm.
Because I feel for the character, I want to root for the character. When she's upset, I'm upset. When she's winning, I'm hyped up. You heard me going like, yeah, Elsa, like, because I'm just so in her corner now.
Mhm.
She feels like a real person.
Right, like you're already sympathetic to her from the get-go with how completely condescending and like everyone else is towards her. But then like as it progresses, like you see those other layers to her that come out, and it's like, okay, like she's just awesome on her own. Like even if like we didn't have the backstory of her being shown by her family, I would have liked her anyway.
Yeah, and I think the last person we have to talk about is boy Ted. Dr. Theodore Salas, I want to say his name is in the comics, aka Man-Thing, who stole every scene that he was in. So good on them. Good on them for making a mostly CG character so endearing. Like in the same, I think in the same way, like they've done, Marvel's just constantly doing this. They're making these amazing CG characters, and they make us fall in love with them. Man-Thing was no exception. The fact that Giacchino took Man-Thing, which Man-Thing in the comics is so weird, just patrols the Florida Everglades like a weirdo, like whatever, just doing his Man-Thing thing. He's the guardian of the nexus of all realities. But it's just to take him like his wackier, goofier self in the comics, and to turn him into such an endearing like character, and to show and to use him to humanize Jack, but also use Jack to humanize Ted, is really great. I think it was all well done. I think the story was great. I'm a huge fan of this.
Right, and like as another example of talking about like people actually having morals and who is a monster and who isn't. The only kills he gets are people who either were after him or who hurt someone else first.
He never attacked unprovoked.
No, like the only reason he goes after the stepmother is, I mean, she's a piece of shit.
And she was gonna kill Elsa, who was his friend.
And she
would have treated him like a friend.
And would have happily killed Jack as well.
Yes.
So
again, Ted, awesome. Man-Thing, really cool. Want to see more of both Man-Thing and Werewolf by Night. I really hope Marvel continues to do these special presentations. This felt like the perfect amount of time. It didn't feel too short, didn't feel too long.
No, not at all. Like, especially because, again, the story, we talk about the showing, not telling, because it's a fairly straightforward story. There's not like a ton of, it's not this massive cast with all these complicated plot threads that you have to resolve. Like, every character served the purpose they needed to in the amount of time they needed to.
Yep. Absolutely.
And then the other thing I don't think we touched on yet is like the style, because how can you not notice the style of this special?
I mean, it's all part of the directing. I mean, right. I feel like we did talk about it, but yeah, it's great.
But what was so crazy to me is the fact that like it definitely has the classic Universal style feel to it, but it does still feel like an MCU, like a modern day MCU property at the same time. I get that.
I don't feel like it's. I feel like it's very different from what we've seen before.
I think it's the most different, but I still like. I think obviously because they're not purposely gonna make it look like shit or anything, but like, it still like feels like it belongs. Like they're not trying to separate for the sake of separating.
Yeah, it's not intentionally separate. I mean, we do have that one little reference to the MCU as a whole,
right,
in the beginning, but I mean that's all we get.
Right.
And then I think this. I think why it feels so different is because Giacchino was tasked with building a completely new world for the MCU, which is the world of monsters, which we haven't really tackled yet outside of like Moon Knight,
right,
to some extent. But I think he did an amazing job, and I think
hell yeah,
in tone and feel, I guess you could say it feels like an MCU, but I give it credit where it feels completely fresh and different, and
it's it's easily one of, and I know we've been saying this a lot with Phase 4, it's one of the most different works that we've seen. Also, like, even though they've had Lions and Blood before, like, man, like, they It wasn't an overall gore fest, but like they didn't hold back at the same time.
Yeah, a lot of blood, which I think is why it was in one of the pluses of using black and white is you get to spray a lot of blood everywhere because it's black blood and it's like non-red colored blood. So I think the MPA is a little bit more forgiving towards it, you know.
Right.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked it a
too.
lot. I liked the blood covered camera. I loved like that little. I'll call it a hallway fight scene, like it's Daredevil. I felt like I was watching some of the best Daredevil fight scenes, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
That sequence was awesome.
Right.
But yeah, listen, I could talk about this for like hours long, but we are going to be having a spoiler discussion on this that will be dropping on Halloween, so I don't want to talk about it too much because there's still a lot of stuff I want to talk about, and I think I'm going to do it in there.
I'm honestly excited to hear even more about you talking about it.
All right, Nikki, is there anything else that you want to bring up while we're here?
I just love bringing more Gael Garcia Bernal back, especially after his wonderful. You brought up Dia de los Muertos, so now I have to look at for all the more spooky content to watch on Disney Plus, like Coco, which he's also in.
Coco's not really spooky.
It's a little bit.
All right, sure.
But anyway, so I'm very excited for digging in deep on this holiday.
All right. But I think that's going to do it. Nikki, where can the people find you?
You can find me at Twitter at @EglorNikki.
And you guys can find me here at the MontyVerse on all the socials at the MontyVerse. Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Make sure to check us out. Give us a follow over there. If you liked the video, give it a huge thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay up to date on all of our latest content. And until next time, guys, stay versed.